I don't have it broken down into. Because
Do we know if we're gonna have legal counsel here tonight or not?
Right.
Supposed to be somebody
these
showing
crazy
up.
that have to do with.
Not
I
John,
don't-
not Danielle. Seemed like his name was Andy.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't.
Okay.
All right, so the public meeting is at
So I
6:30,
just kind of get
open for public comment on the budget
based on
for
what
2025.
I know this was gonna go up by later, and
Right.
just to see if I could get numbers.
Right.
And then I. Guilty. I said,
Some
"No,
folks-
this
some
works
people might
good."
give them
That's my neighbors.
Yeah,
Your
these numbers will work.
Yeah,
so-
they was here out,
Are they coming in here to complain about you?
probably. No, they was here 2 months ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
They bought the house at the back of the circle, right?
The old Tanya LaPage.
Hey, guys.
Okay, here we go. All right, open the public hearing for public comment regarding the 2025 budget. Any public comments? Okay. Close the meeting.
I make a motion to close the meeting.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now. Opening the regular town meeting. Actually,
We are ready to spring.
Scissors, paper, rock.
Dear Father, we just thank you so much for this town, Lord, and all the people in it, most of all. And we just ask you, Lord, to guide this board tonight in decisions and hear everybody and try to be sensitive to their needs. And we just ask you, Lord, to keep safety of the students, especially with what's been going on again. And help make great decisions, staff over there, and help these students to just be calm. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Let's see. Steve Brogan.
Here.
Mary Curley.
Here.
Tom Roberts.
Here.
Bill Walters. And Adam Jones.
Okay, claim docket. Steve, did you hear that?
No. That was when I passed it, Tom.
The claim docket's right here.
Yeah, okay. So I thought.
Oh,
Give it.
I'm sorry. You meant, no, I didn't have it.
Make a motion to pass the claim docket in the amount of $271,663.58.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And, everybody have a chance to review the payroll and distribution reports?
They've been passed around for signature. Who has those?
I have the revenue.
Aye. I think it went
You
that
passed
way.
it that way. I think it went that way.
It went that way.
Let's see. Andy, nice to meet you.
This is it.
This is Adam Jones, Tom Roberts, Randy Hurley,
Nice to meet you.
and Amy Roberts.
Oh, I guess I should get that, Steve. Thank you.
What's your name, Andy?
Andy, yes. Bartlett. There's that one.
You bring one? Yeah, okay, I think so. Yep.
Okay, we good there? So before we go through the departmental reports, let's just go ahead and get the 5-year town plan taken care of.
I don't think we're ready for I know that, I can tell you that, because we're looking for a grant first.
For the Oprah grant.
For
Yeah.
the, I did happen to be golfing with, Mr. Kleinpeter last week, and he said we actually were successful in the first round of the income study. He says, however, it's gotta be finished, and he says, they got assigned to a different person, so he says, just hold your breath, and, because he says he's excited that, we made it through the first round, so.
And they have requested information about residents, and it's taking a little bit to compile because they want the residents, and for us, we don't necessarily have the names and addresses of renters, especially like in the apartment complex.
Right.
We have one address because they run off of one meter. So we're kind of like saying, so many people at this address, so then they can, they'll have to research further to get, but we're giving them what we have, and it should be ready they should have that information before the end of the week.
Okay.
Now, before we leave that, one thing he brought up, which is key, he says, and whether it's right or not, but he said that, because I brought up the water tower and the grant, seeking the grant money for that, the $750 million possibly for
Right.
the water tower enhancement,
For future.
for the filtering. He says you typically,
$750,000, right?
750 to $1 million.
Okay, you said 750 million.
Okay. 750,000 to $1 million. So, anyway,
It's a really nice one.
yeah, it's gonna be a rush.
1 0 off.
Now, anyway, he said typically you aren't allowed to apply for, you have to make a decision. Are we gonna go for $45,000 for the community, Okra grant to pay for the town plan, or are you gonna seek $750 million?
So get both.
You can't get both, he said typically. So I said, well, to me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pull the other from the tip.
So we'll see. But anyway, if it comes through, that's fantastic.
Okay, well, I guess I saw some new faces out in Crown, I thought that might be a 5-year plan as to what that was about. So, I guess before we get into business as usual, does anyone out here have anything that they specifically want to discuss, or just here for entertainment purposes?
Yeah, I'm a party in buying a property that's being split up. Apparently there's been a survey done. Anyone here know that process or where we might be in having something like that?
Are you the Rittenhauer? Are
Yes.
you Mr. Rittenhauer?
No, I'm not.
You're the.
I would be the purchasing party, yes.
Okay. Just know that we've been at a struggle with, I'm sorry, I don't want to jump in.
No, is this the,
That has to do with
the vacated position? No. the
No.
vacated,
Todd Lehman.
Oh.
This
yeah, okay.
was addressed a few months ago, and we actually looped in another email today to try to get help maybe from John's office to maybe we could get things going. Because letters have to be sent to surrounding property owners, and I tried to address that and it didn't get completed. So brought by anyway, but the building commissioner needed to send it out, and I think it slipped through the cracks. And so I think we were trying to see if we could get an answer from John's office to see if John could look up the addresses of people there. We have no idea who we have to address, and they've done it for us before on other properties, so we're hoping maybe they can.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
struggle is the building commissioner usually handles that, and we're in a transition period.
And so it fell through the cracks.
Yeah. We apologize.
But so do you know what the status, how soon that can get started? Because I think that's what he's wanting to.
Right, yes, we're working on it now, and hopefully can have it sent out maybe in the next week or so.
In the next week,
Yeah,
the others?
I don't wanna
Yeah.
overpromise.
I don't know how many letters have to be sent or
Well,
anything.
yeah, it's just a matter of, we gotta make sure we follow the ordinance for the notice and, locate exactly which properties need to have it sent to them and, but I don't anticipate it taking too much longer. We can get them out hopefully soon.
And that's the first part of the process. Property owners have to be notified, and then there's a meeting if they have any,
Objection.
objections to it, and then I don't know where it goes from that. I don't know the process, but I
You
know
have to have a
it goes
public
out.
hearing.
And have a public hearing.
Yes.
yeah.
That's correct.
All right, so if I can summarize, you're aware of the scenario, you're aware that it's delayed or taking longer than normal.
Yeah. Very-
I'm sorry,
Yes.
yeah, okay, well, you, yeah,
Very
you
much.
shaking your head no, so I would, yeah, I wasn't sure there. But now it's the town attorney, it's in that hands right now?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and so, can you explain the process and how it's supposed to happen? And if, timelines and things like that. I guess in full disclosure, I am a licensed real estate agent. I know in real estate transactions, there has to be a value, a dollar amount, and then always a time thing. So I assume there's some sort of time going on. So are you able to kind of fill me in there?
Yeah, so we'll get these notices out to the proper party. We need to set a meeting for our hearing where they can come and voice any objections, or even if they're in favor, they can come and speak about it. But we have to provide them enough time, enough notice, advance notice to appear at that special meeting to, voice their opinions on this. And, as soon as we get all of these letters drafted and the proper parties identified, we can get them sent out, and we just need to coordinate when that hearing would be or when that meeting would be. And, that just depends on availability and, how far out we need to set it. But it shouldn't take much longer than, like I said, hopefully over the next week or so, we can get those notices out, and then just line it up with whatever meeting is coming up.
Well, what would be the delay in getting the notices out?
Right now, we haven't identified who needs to receive the notice. So our law office, because we're absent a commissioner, their office is determining who needs to be notified, who the surrounding residents are that need to be notified. So that's what they're researching. Once they get that, they're in the midst of that, then they're going to draft a letter. Once they identify everybody, then the letter will be sent to everyone. They'll all have notice, and in that notice, it will say when the public hearing will be, so everybody can show up. And certainly, you guys want to be
So
here for that too.
let's assume no objections
Mhm.
to splitting up the property. Reasonable timeline on start to finish, 60 days, 45 days?
I think something in that range seems reasonable, just because the advance notice you have to get, you can't just tell them they're going to be next week.
I think if you
Yeah.
plan 60 days, you'd probably be in a good spot. It might be done sooner.
Well, are those timeframes spelled out in the law, in the ordinance, and the procedure? Or?
That's what we're looking at. I haven't, I'm not on that project, but I will be probably helping with it. So I'll look in the ordinance and see exactly how much notice they need, what it requires as far as.
All right, so is there a contact with the attorney's office that I can contact directly to get updated or get clarification or?
I mean, I work for the office that's handling it, so, I mean, I can leave you my card if you would like. You can contact me and I'll give you a date.
I would like that, yes. Yeah, you have it available now?
Yeah, that card.
You,
I'll contact the town office as well and contact Amy to see if she's heard anything as well.
But I'm not always informed, so
Right.
I could try to find out for you.
That's another avenue, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I understand you want to get this thing done, taken care of. So we'll expedite it as quickly as we can, but we do, by ordinance, there's certain limitations that we have to have to give people plenty of time to respond, so there's a certain.
But we're just not exactly sure what those timelines are. Okay.
So, and let me apologize. You caught us at an absolutely terrible time.
We're still not member.
We unexpectedly lost the building commissioner and also found out that things were getting stacked up and not being taken care of. And then in addition to that, Amy is our attorney, but not our primary attorney. And so I know that you're dancing around things that you're not completely, he's not completely up to speed on. And so this is not the regular response. And so just, apologies from all of us in that regard. But we will make sure that this gets taken care of as quickly as we can.
Yeah, what we can assure you is we now know what the issue is. We've got it over to our attorney, which literally just happened earlier today. That's why he's kind of not aware of it. And it went to our regular attorney. So we will continue to follow up on this and make sure that it gets rectified as quick as possible for you.
Okay.
In the meantime, anything else we can do to help you?
Culver's, coupons, or?
I have hot donuts.
Is there anything we can do in that regard? Are there any fees?
We waive fees.
Ways fees?
I would say that.
If there are, we can.
Yes, okay.
And there may be a fee just for the separate, if you file the plat thing, that could be waived.
Yeah, okay. If there's any fees,
I don't know.
town fees associated with the process that you're going through, we will make sure those get waived.
Right, and that's part of the public record then now, or?
Oh, yeah, I'll put it in here.
Yeah, you can go back and watch the meeting on YouTube, so it's there.
It's there.
Does anybody else have anything?
Well, I don't want to jump the gun because you might cover it in the new business. I just have a question on recycling. So if you're going to be discussing that or whatever, then I can talk then.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up when we hit the sanitation.
Because I just
And then
know
if
it's
you-
piling up at my house and my neighbors say they're bringing it to other cities. And I'm like, is that really what Daleville wants us to do? And this is the process. We have to bring it to a place once a month. It just doesn't seem sufficient if we're really going to try and recycle.
All right, anyone else? Okay, let's just get back to the standard reports and we'll hit your concern very quickly. It looked like,
We do have our health insurance guy here.
Yeah.
You wanna let him go ahead and read it?
no, that's what I was trying to get.
Yeah, Billy's back there.
Yes, please, let's do that.
So then you don't have to stick around.
Oh, I want to hear about sanitation. Maybe I need to take it where I live.
I'm not
Depends
so
on who's getting the
excited
kickback.
about health insurance.
I think they're not gonna be.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Did you guys get tar and feathers?
It's hard.
Oh,
It is not
I knew
his
there was
fault.
something I was supposed to bring.
In my defense, you guys got a 0% increase last year.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
we did.
matter of fact,
We've
over the
been
past,
cruising for a couple of years.
We really
over the past,
appreciated
what,
that last.
probably 3 years, I think your average has been about 3%.
Mhm.
So you,
Yeah.
you've been skating really well. Unfortunately, this year, you took a beating. It was an ugly beating. I was in Amy's office when she opened the renewal, because I was already bringing it to her, and they actually mailed it to me. So I was actually talking to Trina when she screamed from the other room. Unfortunately, demographics, the overusage this year really pounded you, as we say in the insurance world. For some reason, this area zip code got an automatic 10% increase across the board. I don't know what that's about. just the demographic area. If you go down the road to Town of LaPel, they got a 0% increase and they're 20 minutes down the road. It's just the way Anthem does things. But there is good news. I did find you some other plans that's going to help a little bit. I know a lot of people, are screaming about, oh, what about network, blah, blah, blah. You know what? And Amy can attest, I sent her a link. There's 331 providers for the network I'm about to introduce in your local area. So if somebody says they don't have a network, they're not looking. So I come across an IU health plan, actually several, that's going to take your 27% increase that you got down to either a decrease or a slight increase of 5%. So as an insurance guy, like I said, I've been doing this a long time, you're not going to make everybody happy. Your idea here is obviously saving the town as much money as you possibly can. Taxpayers don't want to pay any more money in taxes because your health insurance went outrageous. So looking at these plans, you can look at those and go, do we have the network? As I just said, you have 331 providers around the area to take care of that. So now, upscale to this, these plans are not HSA compatible. So for one, the one plan that I'm going to talk to you about, it's a 5% increase from what you were last year, but it's a $1,250 deductible. It's a $15 copay for your employees to go to the doctor. You don't need an HSA. It's not a high deductible health plan. And I know your employees are going to holler at you going, oh my, you're taking something away. You're not taking anything away. You're giving them a plan that's going to cost them $15 to go to the doctor. If that's a problem, then you move over to what we call an HRA, which is a health reimbursement arrangement. Difference is the money stays with the town. It doesn't go to each employee. They still get a card. They can run it. So you've got employees who haven't used their HSA money in years. Where's that money got you guys? Nothing. It just gave them a separate, basically retirement plan. If you go with an HRA, again, it's, money that goes into that account, if it's not used, it stays with you. Much better planning, much better concept.
But with the HRA, it's handled or owned, quote unquote, by the employer.
It is owned by the employer.
Okay.
And it's set up through a third-party administrator. So Amy is not responsible for administrating it because she's got enough on her
That
plate.
was my first question.
Yeah, we handle the administration side. We've got a third-party administrator that handles all that. They deal with that. End of the day, guys, IU Health for a year is going to be your best option. Hopefully next year, maybe you get some younger employees or less usage. Out of the plan.
That was another question I had in terms of usage. Do we have any major health expenses this year?
Yes.
Heart attack or anything like that, that kind of thing?
You had some,
Cancer or whatever?
yeah, you had some big claims this year, unfortunately. I obviously can't discuss.
Right.
that.
Well, I know it's a small group, so they only take one, really.
Yeah, it only takes one to cause a major problem.
Sure.
So,
And it happened.
and it does.
Yeah.
It happens across the board, across the country. And unfortunately, you're right now, your employees are not getting any younger.
Right.
And it's not anything fault of yours. You've got some great workers here that want to keep their jobs and stay for a long time. And I applaud them for that. So, cuts and bounces, you got to figure out, do you want to start moving networks? You want to move, away from a certain company? You're probably going to have to, because we even ran United Healthcare. To go to United Healthcare, you're going to get a 78% increase. I mean, Amy and I worked on this for quite a few weeks. We back and forth battled, ran, all kinds of demographics, all kinds of quotes. I ran you through a couple of companies that specializes in public sector and got the same increase that you got from the Anthem you want.
So the gold 1250, the one that you're recommending.
Yes.
Is that
So out of network would be outside of IU Health, but they're still covered.
Outside of IU Health, you have to stay in the IU Health network. That's why we were looking up the network to make sure you had a network here. Places where I live down in Terre Haute. Absolutely, you cannot use IU Health down there because there's no network.
Okay. So they have no.
This is the biggest, right where we're at, Anderson, Bloomington, Muncie, right around here is your biggest IU Health network, in the state, believe it or not.
Sure. But they would have no coverage outside of.
No, that's why we're going to educate. You have to stay in the network. You have to. You didn't have any network coverage with Anthem. You didn't have any on network.
Oh, no. Okay, so if they're on vacation or whatever, even like right now.
If they go on vacation and they're out of state.
Yeah.
Emergency services is always covered.
Yeah.
If they just go to the local doctor because they're sick, no.
Right.
They're gonna have to pay the full price while they're there.
Okay.
But if they have a heart attack while they're out on vacation, yes, they will cover that emergency service to go to the
Okay.
emergency room or whatever.
Got it.
So,
When do we need to make our decision on this?
you have a 10/1 effective date. So
10/1?
you are,
We have to do it now.
you're in that,
Tonight, but
because if you don't make a decision, you are automatically will renew with Anthem at
We don't want to do
27% increase. You do not want to do that.
no.
Okay. We need to make a decision and then, well, I would like to put together the employees and have a conversation with them as to why we went the direction we did.
Yeah.
And share this information in.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, my job is to be here to have that discussion with the employees.
Yeah, he can come and we
That'd
might.
be great.
That's my job. That's what you pay me
I'll
for.
stand behind you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've had some conversations like that this year, so it's part of my job and that's the service you get from our company is to make sure that you guys are getting beat up.
So you said, knowing that none of these, especially the Gold or none of these IU health plans are eligible for the HSA.
Correct. They're not high
So, but you
deductible.
mentioned it sounds like it's like a flex pay plan.
An HRA is it's just a health reimbursement arrangement. So you're still helping the employees with some higher costs.
So are we putting a pot of money?
Into an account. And it divvies out to each person, however much you say.
So we
it
could
is.
just do this, like whatever we're paying out on
On each
HSA
thing.
and each person
And it-
could just be put
correct.
into.
It's cool.
But at the end of the day, if an employee doesn't use theirs, they don't get to keep that, it stays with the town. So if you refund, if you do the same thing the following year, you're not putting as much money into it the following year because they're not using it.
It would be better, just whatever you planned on, putting in an HSA to just deduct from their expense. But no, they don't pay anything, do they?
No.
Okay, so then we just save that.
Yes.
So we would, like each person, right now, everybody gets $2,500.
Correct.
They have $2,500,
On
that's
that
it. Once
birthday
they use
basement,
theirs, they're
it's-
done.
They're done. But if they don't use it at all,
Then it stays.
It sounds
So
like,
let's say there's 10 employees, that's $25,000.
Correct.
We put it in this pot. And like she said, if you don't use it, then it just stays there. Let's say half of it's used, then we just have to fill half the pot. next time.
Correct.
Tom, what you're saying is, it's like the flex thing.
It's like a.
Same
well,
thing.
Flex
It's,
though, was I think.
It's flex is to use it or lose it. And it's
Yeah,
an
use it or
individual
lose
thing.
yeah,
And yeah, so
it's similar. but
it is
Yeah.
similar, but it's not a use it or lose
Understand.
it kind of thing.
So are you saying, Adam, we could stick with that pot of money? Put it over here, or would you rather just save that money? That's what.
Yeah, you don't have to do the
Yeah, I
HR
know.
either. That's up to you guys. Just giving you new avenues.
I just have something relative to your HSA. If that plan you're talking about is not a choice that you guys want to make, there's also HSA private plans that you can do like with First Merchant Bank.
Right, your
And
employees.
you have it automatically deducted, just like a partial payment, and it goes into their own account. Because our firm does that. I work for an accounting firm. Right out of the payroll, goes right into it. Private HSA, they set it up as a family one or individual plan. So just an idea.
So if somebody wanted to go out of network, they could use their HSA to pay for that. They could use the HRA. for that.
Any medical expense, dental
And
vision.
could they use the HSA money that they have? set aside already?
Yeah, they don't lose the money they already have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
So
there.
there's an
Well, we
option.
give, yeah, because it's, the way we do it now, the town each quarter pays $625 we put into their individual account.
HSA.
And then, they have to manage it,
Right.
for their bills, however they want to do, so.
Right, so, yeah, an HRA or an HSA or even an FSA can be used anything for any type of medical expense. Doctor visits, dental vision, doesn't matter, contact lenses, Band-Aids, as long as they keep the receipt,
Right, that's used medical
the
extension.
medical expense.
So then they would just turn the receipt into you.
With the HRA, it's done by a third party, they get a
The
card.
third
We just
Like
have
an
to
HSA.
keep this.
Oh, it's just been like, slide it just like that.
This is the best of the bad situation.
So then if they
Yeah.
overspend,
They can't, it doesn't stop.
it stops it.
Yeah, the 78%. No, 20, no.
26%.
And the closest one to the Anthem plan, but not the increase, is that
And
IU Health,
They don't think
right?
Right,
he does that.
and it's a 70/30 plan, that HSA, health plan.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we pay it completely
Yeah.
is, that's a great
Yeah.
incentive.
Right, that's $50,000 right there.
Okay, let's stick with how you normally do it, I guess, on the HRA stuff.
So we put a pot of money. Do we need a motion? Are you guys ready for a motion?
I don't think we have a choice.
No.
Yeah,
I-
we accept the 1250, go 1250.
So we're gonna make a motion to
Yes.
accept the goal 1250.
Yeah,
And continue with the HSA match, or not match, but contribution, but as a HRA.
what do we do,
Convert it to an HRA.
Whatever to an HRA.
what do we do?
Probably should be
And we can
treated.
start that
almost
October
with-
1st,
with
too.
the
Yeah. We'll get that,
HRA?
Melissa sets that.
It's
Just leave it.
It's Melissa.
Well, then the next year, it's
We
available
replenish
and
it
you only
once
have to
we can.
replenish half if
Okay.
you only use half.
Yeah.
That works, right? Okay.
And they have to turn in receipts then to get
They get a
reimbursed.
card, just like an HSA card.
Oh, okay.
And they
Should
take
not-
care of it,
It's why it's done by a third party administrator.
which I like.
Yeah, that's,
It takes all, we're taking all the work off.
Yeah.
Anybody's plate here, that's why you have a broker. To handle all that and handle questions and problems and talk to your employees when they're mad.
So we want to try to have, did you say you want to try to have Billy come in and,
No, we will have, we'll try.
Oh,
it.
you will have Billy come in and just have an employee meeting about health
Exactly.
insurance?
Before the end of the year.
Well,
We've made our decision because we were under the gun. Before the end of the year, at a
Oh, it'll
convenient time.
be this month.
it'll be this
It's
month,
because it
we're
doesn't
in-
benefit.
We're
It's
in.
a 10-1
October
effective.
first.
Yeah,
Your plan takes effect 10/1. So I
Okay, well
will be here
then-
this month.
just like the rip off.
Okay,
So
I thought
here's
this
my
was for
thing.
January
No.
1st.
Are we wanting to have the meeting with the employees before you make a final decision?
No,
I don't think
No,
you can.
No.
Well, you could have a special meeting.
yeah, we're not
But I
gonna do
just,
that.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's a
Wanna
good
make
question, but no,
clear.
we're not gonna do that.
No.
We gotta get it done.
No, I understand
Just
that.
have to explain it.
Anybody second that yet?
Nobody. we have-
I'll
I
say-
didn't even hear
You
it.
said- you second.
But I'm thinking maybe we should do it in two stages. First, accepting the plan, and then second, what
The
we're
HRA?
gonna do. HRA, yeah.
HRA?
HRA.
Okay, that's fine. So make a motion to accept the goal 1250 select the IU health plan.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye.
So, somebody else want to make the motion on the other?
I make the motion to contribute to the HRA the same amount that we were contributing to the HSA per employee.
And
I'll second that.
just do we need to mention any rollover, any remaining funds get rolled over into the following year?
Yeah, with any remaining funds that are not used in the HRA to be rolled into the following year.
Second,
I'll second.
okay, all in favor?
Amy, you and I will spend a lot of time together tomorrow, and then Wednesday, or Thursday, via phone, email,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
And Melissa.
We could just, yeah, just get ahold of me what I need to.
Thank you for coming in and
Absolutely.
explaining it. It really did
my
help to
job.
understand it.
You're every time you need me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Billy.
you doing the legwork on that. That's, I know you're being paid, but you did a good job of
We
researching.
appreciate you.
Regional wastewater, that goes business as usual.
Yeah, it was business as usual. I can basically say it's lift station work,
Mhm.
yeah. 811 locates, lots of 811 locates. And lift station main, it's just routine. But again, he gets to me on a routine basis, which was not done a couple years ago. I
Right.
never heard from him, and but communication's great now.
Absolutely. It was, before, we didn't even know what they were doing, or if they were doing
Like
it,
they've done it.
but they were, we just didn't know it, we found out, but now Jason, he's doing a good job communicating.
Sanitation, we just want to wrap it in the recycling discussion up.
Yes,
Yeah.
so, as you've heard tonight, from two different people, plus, we've heard from several town residents, they would like to have a permanent recycling, location versus just the once a month that we're doing currently. So Amy was gracious enough to investigate that for us. They can leave, like the next time a container's here, they can leave that one in permanently. The added cost would be $200 per haul and $55 per ton. They did say the material should be very light, so there shouldn't be much weight there for that. And then we may need to increase the sanitation fee a little bit in order to help cover the cost. Only downside of this would be that we would have to have some sort of monitoring or camera in that area to make sure dumping of bad materials weren't
Refuse, yeah.
happening in there. And so, yeah, that's what we know as of this point, is that the added cost is that $200 per haul and $55 per ton when they haul it off.
You said, Brandy, you said $200 a trip, and then what was that per ton?
$55
$55 per ton or
per ton,
per ton, okay.
Okay.
He wouldn't come and get it till it's full, right?
correct.
Oh, so it doesn't mean you'd have a trip every week or something, it'd be just whenever it gets full.
Right, I think we're gonna have, we're gonna have to monitor initially just how often we would need it
Right.
dumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just call and say, trade them out, and
Yeah.
they charge us for it.
Correct.
Okay, I like that.
I do like the idea of putting it down on, the hero's way, to recycle. Yeah.
I like it because it's close for me to recycle.
What, you yard in the back?
I'll
It
just walk
cannot be
over.
there. It can't be in Middletown.
No,
No.
it'll just get filled with trash.
Right,
Mhm.
well, it gets, I mean,
It's already used.
it's okay once a month there, but
Right.
just continually, I don't.
Now, is that an issue for the police emergency access? We don't have.
Here,
When they take one out, they'll bring an empty in?
yes,
Okay.
Yep. they'll just swap them out.
All right, the other side would be maybe not hero's way, we could have it here. Because this dumpster does not get used. Like,
Well, I like that it's close to the fire, or the police department as well, and the likelihood of dumping not, things you're not supposed
You've already
to.
got cameras up too,
Yeah,
so you can already see that.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, we could have just regular trash service here and probably be okay.
Yep.
And replace that dumpster with the recyclable.
As much trash as they.
Oh, you mean put the recycling dumpster inside the fence there?
Mm-hmm.
If they can get one that size.
I don't know
Yeah.
what size they. If there's.
I mean,
I'm for it.
I had seen dumpsters, so like a standard size dumpster for recycling.
All right.
Can we get regular trash surface? We always have to have,
Trash
we've
can.
always had, well, see, yeah, we've always had dumpsters at the businesses. I don't know if they do track, because there was, at one time there was a discussion, we had the trash cans versus dumpsters at businesses. I don't know, I have to, that was how I was thinking.
I like the idea of having it here as well.
Mhm.
You do too, okay. So I think the sanitation fund can afford this for a few months.
Yeah, just,
Mhm.
you know,
So, but then during that time, then we can look and see and work out if we have to raise 50 cents for a
Yeah, we'll
resident
have a good.
Right.
or a
picture
dollar
of
or
it,
whatever it
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
then we can always do that. But you have to do a public hearing, I'm sure, and
To raise
Yes,
rates.
yes, to do the rate change.
Well, we just don't know how often it's gonna have to be done at this
Right.
point, so.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And if we've got room, like how much room? How many months?
you know, it's hard to tell because there's a timing issue with the sanitation sometimes. Sometimes the payment doesn't get made until the next month or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it
So,
depends on when it's
Right
due.
now, we have $21,000 in that fund, but there may be two payments that aren't posted in here, so it could be 18,000, it could
Well,
be
let me see.
3,000.
why don't we just run it to the end of the year?
Yeah. that's
How
what
much
I'm
money
saying.
we
have enough time?
Yeah.
We'd be okay with that, okay, that's what I was wondering, yeah.
You can Go to the
Well,
end
that'd
of the
be
year and
fine.
see how it's doing then.
That gives us 3 months worth.
Okay. So the only question is how we do it here.
Yeah, we just look at it after.
And maybe you just experiment and see what works.
All right, do we need to make a motion on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Do we?
Randy or Sam?
If you're gonna adopt, if you're gonna start the, I mean.
Yeah, so I'll just make a motion that we go to year-round recycling and we take it out of the sanitation budget for 3 months and then we'll evaluate if anything needs to increase at that point in time.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm all for
Well,
that.
well,
Yes.
My garage
Not just
has more
full.
space.
I'm just gonna start.
And more. Oh. I'm trying to figure out where to put
When
it.
is it gonna start?
So we'll call,
Well, it starts this weekend because we're having this next weekend.
right, and they'll just leave it, so starting this weekend.
Gonna be right out here?
Oh, well,
Well,
We'll be here.
we gotta see how big, I don't know if there's different
It's
size
large.
recycling.
I would guess this weekend it's gonna be at the Old Town Hall.
Yeah.
We don't have time to mess with
Until
that.
we get it figured out
When
where.
we figure it out,
Yeah.
we're- move it over.
Just, yeah, about it. Are there different size recycling?
Yes.
Because then you run into what size one are you gonna put back there?
Right, that's what we talked
Yeah,
about.
that's what we're talking
Well,
about.
right now, you've got, we use that, do we fill that great big one
Yeah.
that's at town hall?
Sure,
Yes.
why
So a
not?
great big one's not gonna fit inside your little bin.
But on
so-
a
We're not gonna
ongoing
move it.
basis, I don't think we will.
Oh,
Because we don't do it twice a year. So
Well, once a month.
recycling is once a month.
we do,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we fill it every month.
Oh, yeah. More to overflow.
Terry buys a lot of things.
Terry,
Hey.
Mr. Amazon.
You'd be surprised how many trips I make to Chesterfield.
I bet you do.
So jump over
What
there.
size is Chesterfield's recycling?
We fill it
Pardon?
with.
What size is their recycling bin?
Like what you have down here beside, the old town hall, that Brad and, Dan used.
Okay, so that would work.
That's
So
what
it's
I'm
the
saying,
same-
you have back
So
here.
it's the same one
Well,
that's.
I haven't looked back here, but
Yeah,
I
that's the
remember
same
there's one down there.
Okay, So it would work, okay. I just
With the
wondered,
pickup
I
fee
didn't know.
change, then it's a smaller size.
Now, they have two of them at Chesterfield side by side,
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
another thing.
small, the small type.
It's the other thing, it's $200. No matter what size bin they're picking up,
Yeah, but it's per ton.
plus per ton.
Yeah.
So if you have a small.
Yeah, it's 200 per haul.
Haul.
It's for haul, it just depends on how often.
Yeah.
It's a all you can eat buffet, but you pay per pound.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you have a
No, I
smaller
understand.
container, you're gonna have more trips.
Yeah, but I think there's an advantage, if we can put it in a fence,
Yes.
there's an advantage to that too.
There's room for a larger dumpster in that fence. too.
So let's take a look at it.
Who says? Water.
I think nothing going on really.
Streets.
Very little going on. I know that Brad's preparing for, Brad's preparing for snow, of course. He's so excited. He needs to have a snowplow digger hopper put on his new truck.
Yeah.
And I would like to make a motion that we spend $2,131 to put this digger hopper on his truck.
Diggle.
We'll make the motion.
I did, just,
Okay.
yeah, it's a dig off.
Dingle Hall.
That's
A-
plow and.
A plow
It's a
mount,
snow
the
plow.
plow mount, because we're using the old plow.
Okay, so
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
how much are you spending again?
2131.
He'll be excited.
He's got a new toy.
Okay. Planning and zoning did not have a meeting this evening. Police, James said business as usual. And I think that's it on.
Park.
Well, it's not here.
It is, you skipped it.
That's the bottom.
Dropped it off.
Did you crop it off?
There it is up there.
It's up there.
Oh, excuse me, park.
Well, we had park meeting last night, that's why I
Yeah.
have minutes from last night, so. We had the public hearing for the park as well as our park board meeting. So in the park board meeting, we discussed that the dog park's been moved to Schelleberger. They would like, the water fountain that is in the dog park hooked up to water. And I guess there's a water fountain, to check the regular water fountain down there to see what the issue is, to see if it's working or not.
No, they keep breaking it. Whoever it is, just keeps going in there
Well,
and
they-
breaking the water fountain.
Because when we discussed it, there were a couple people said that they thought the park came in and it was fixed.
It
And
was.
It was working for a while.
and then it got broken. Okay, but anyway, research that. Getting dog potty bags stocked down there
Oh, I like that.
and have a trash can with a lid
Yes.
near the dog park so that people don't have to carry it and put it up by the shelter house there. So those were, and Light Up Daleville is December 13th. Going to be, they requested they have the bathrooms open from 6 to 8 that day, so it can be used for because they have a pretty big crowd. And they want to do a live nativity on our front yard from 6 to 8. And we didn't have a problem with it, and they would be glad to clean the bathrooms and clean up after any live.
So who's gonna do
nativity.
that?
The community church.
Okay. Thought you said that, but I wanna make
And-
sure.
Somebody said the Wi-Fi was turned off at the park,
It just got turned off, you know. so-
and the concern of the park board was that there's kids that use the park, use Wi-Fi for homework and stuff, because they don't have Wi-Fi at home, and why can't it be left on?
So Brad turned it off, he ran it by me, because last year they saw a drop in vandalism when they turned off the Wi-Fi.
But we have cameras, so if we have cameras, I mean, if you turn, I don't know, anyway, we would like the Wi-Fi turned back on, we don't understand, because
I just don't like the don't understand why they go in and vandalize something as nice
yeah,
as
but
that.
I just don't think, well, I agree, but I don't think we're any worse off than any other park. I think kids do
You're right.
it, yeah. We don't, I mean, you know, it is what it is, but
We
I
also
guess-
need to allocate money next year, first of next year, to get cameras down at Shellburger Park.
Mhm.
We just need to get a link on our network down there, power and run some cameras. We need to get that done.
And-
Yes.
it was suggested, one of the issues, I mean, I know we try to cover the whole park with cameras, but one of the blind spots is down by the amphitheater, behind the amphitheater. And there's actually wood that has gotten damaged. Don't think it was from kids, we think it was from somebody running something into it, an adult, but anyway, maybe if we put a light down there, that would help deter people being down there, or figure out a way to get a camera down there.
We could probably, that link that goes from the building to the pavilion, and there's cameras on the pavilion, we could move that link to the stage and have the cameras on around the stage.
It's the
and
back
point
side of
back.
the stage, yeah, that's where we have the problem.
Right, so the fronts could cover the pavilion and that area, and then we could have cameras in the back and cover both. So
That was-
that would be an easy move.
That was a suggestion. we're going to purchase, they want to purchase a commercial slushing machine with our donation money to use for the adult nights, and a cotton candy machine to use, and have both of those would be available by the time the festival rolls around. Because I guess the wine slushies are very popular at the festivals. That's what I hear, so. And then the public meeting was not well attended, but we did the best we could, and we did get comments, and I think I forwarded those comments on to you guys
Okay.
at one point. So we are going to discuss them as a park board at the next meeting.
Couple things, Amy. The first one is the dog park. I know some people complained about the dog park being removed,
Yeah, because
but they didn't know that it was relocated.
yeah, and that's what.
So have we done something communication wise?
We have not, but because I think when
Or
it
is there a
happened,
plan?
Trina was gone, and she runs the social media, so we talked about that, and I talked to Trina today. So we're gonna do a blast that the dog
Good.
park isn't gone, that it's just been moved.
Good.
So
And
people
it's
know.
really funny because on the survey, it was real clear.
There was lots of
The
comments about that.
Well, also that the Facebook is where everybody's looking to get information about the parks. I mean, it was like 85 to 90% of people saying that's where they get their information. So great, I love it. We'll use Facebook even for some of our other town stuff. I think more. I appreciate it. Okay, and then what Tom was talking about in terms of the vandalism and then the Wi-Fi. I'm not saying kids are being dishonest, but kids will say, I want to go down to the splash pad area or park area, whatever, and I want to do my homework down there.
I'm sure.
And they're not doing homework. They're just using the Wi-Fi to do whatever social media stuff they want to do. So I'm just wondering if we shouldn't just leave it off and see over a period of time if there's any issues.
Well, and does the hub provide, I mean, I know they provide a lot of free community events, so do they provide Wi-Fi where kids could go do homework? No, no,
Hub says no.
I don't mind them now going out and home.
yeah.
No, I don't mind them if they're actually doing homework.
Well, the park closes at dusk. The park is officially closed at dusk. That's posted. So if our police officers patrol through there and someone's there after dusk, they run them out. They should be running them out. And I've seen the camera setup. We have it covered pretty well with cameras.
Okay, then here's another alternative. Could you turn the Wi-Fi off at dusk?
I don't know.
And then you'd have to
Not
they'd have to
current.
plug it in all the time.
Not with our existing setup, but
Okay.
keep in mind, the school has turned off their guest Wi-Fi to discourage people from setting in the parking lot or coming on the school grounds, things like that. The only time that the guest Wi-Fi is active, but it is locked down. And so you can't just be on the grounds and use their Wi-Fi for similar reasons.
I'm just concerned about that. If there is a correlation there. Maybe we ought to just leave it off.
And I will say that for students who don't have Wi-Fi, just privileged to the information, they can request a hotspot from the school.
There you go. On the library, I would think would have Wi-Fi available too, if kids needed it.
Wow.
But
But
that's-
kids
you can't walk.
You just have to walk.
can't
down
walk
the
there.
Yeah,
You
you
got
just
the
have to-
4-lane highway to get to
Right.
the.
Yeah, I would recommend that we just keep it off.
So I wrote porta pots because you can make a phone call sometime. When do we usually move? those?
November 1st.
November 1st is what we have it set up for, but I will call in October to make sure they're gonna do it in November 1st.
Yeah.
Um,
You're already discussed that.
Hometown hero update.
Oh, I took that off.
Yeah, he took that
You
off.
kept trying to take it off, and you kept adding it back on there.
I didn't.
Oh, well, it's just, we didn't have a meeting this month.
I was given this.
No,
I updated it, so.
so we couldn't have a meeting, but things are moving along regardless. I got an email pack full of information about banners and, the requests for funds and things like that. And so everything's working out. We just couldn't get together.
So it's looking hopeful in terms of sponsorships too.
We haven't,
I mean, in terms of, are they thinking
I
they
think
could
there will
generate?
be.
Yeah.
We don't have any anticipation yet, but I think there's gonna be overwhelming support for, the banner thing, so.
Mhm. Good.
It's
Good.
a banner for veterans and for first responders to honor them, put them on, banner on the flagpole, rather, not flagpole, but the poles.
Sure.
Stormwater building update. Everybody knows the foundation has been poured, building it's ready and waiting. Brad got the, all the plumbing done. And we are in the schedule now. Well, we are in the queue to be scheduled for the building. I will follow up tomorrow. I just been busy and forgot to follow up again. Wes, our sales guy, is no longer with them, and they just moved us up to the sales manager's act. So I'll just get with him again and find out where we're at, scheduling wise. Site pictures have been delivered, so there's nothing that's nothing holding up on our end from the building being completed.
Brandy, the Burns did a good job with it.
They did. I agree.
Energy savings at Newtown Hall, we talked about this. We have now officially been on solar for a year here at the building. We went from a kilowatt hour usage of 17,700. And now this past month, our billing and checked according to the Indiana Michigan Power bill, the month was within 1 degree of this month last year, and we only consumed 2,300 kilowatt hours of power. So we have made a dramatic reduction in the amount of electrical usage thanks to the panels.
I will give you, because I just caught this, the monetary value.
Yeah.
Our budget for this last year we moved it up to $35,000 because of the electric bill.
Newtown Hall.
And we have spent 14
Wow.
through August.
Cut it in half.
That's great.
And that doesn't take into account utility savings at the water plant either, which we haven't even discussed.
Yeah, I haven't looked, I just know when that bill dropped that much, I was like, something's wrong. I know.
We just did, so we're half the price.
Oh,
More than half right now, yeah.
I just paid a bill for $864 compared to $2,000.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
so, yeah, they'll just continue to pay for themselves for the next 30-some years. That is it on business that we have. Do you guys have anything?
I was wondering about the trash or the dumpster. What is an example of a lightweight?
Like
Uh,
cardboard,
Plastic.
yeah.
What's going in recycling
Aluminum cans.
is mostly that kind of what they're just describing. So they'd be lightweight. It's not like where people are throwing motors or something in
Right,
for
or
recycling.
furniture?
Right.
Well, this is specifically for the recycling.
Yes, specifically for recycling.
And from now on, it's gonna be out here?
No, so, this coming month, it will be at the old town hall building again.
This weekend.
This weekend. From then on out, we're gonna try to get it taken care of so that it will be here at this building in the back corner, where our current dumpster's at. We've had a dumpster here for 2 years now, and we don't utilize the space that it's taking up. So we could get away with just trash cans. But we'll figure out what our trash service will let us do here and reduce it to whatever we can so that the recycling dumpster can be here, where it's monitored and locked, things like that. Well, not locked, but behind a gate. Anything else?
We didn't call to put anything on the agenda, but we didn't want to be forgotten of our neighborhood because it is.
Who are you guys?
We're.
I just
He didn't know, he lived in another planet.
There's not been much change in our neighborhood. It's
tonight they brought home a race car next door, and they've had snowmobiles sitting in the yard now for a couple months. The windows across the street are still the same. There's nothing been done. So we just don't want to be forgotten. And, you know, our hands are tied, basically.
Yeah, let's talk after the meeting.
Is that the property you guys talked about 2 months ago?
Probably.
Probably.
I drove by
It's
there.
been 2 years.
I drove by there and I saw the vehicles and I'm like, that's not nearly as bad as if you go around the block of the house and it looks empty and the
Oh.
gutter's
Yeah.
halfway and goes down
Yeah,
to the ground.
yeah, on the
After that,
opposite
I'm like,
street of
yeah,
us, yeah.
like, this would be a bigger problem to me than them parking vehicles where they
There's
are.
actually.
Well, we got boarded up
Yeah.
windows, we got trash.
I'm like, so
I'm a
I'm
little bit
like,
concerned about the neighborhood right now. I've ridden my bike through there several times, and it just seems like there's half a dozen houses.
Yeah.
That are
Go
now
down,
empty, that are,
yeah, it's going
Degrading.
quickly.
yeah.
So, and I had heard, and it may have been a rumor, that at the last meeting, they were gonna send out a letter or something, that clean up your yard, clean up whatever. I've not received that letter yet.
I had heard that too.
Oh, okay.
And
But I
there
know
is- there is gonna be some-
There was, someone was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
create
yes,
the letter,
yes,
but
that's
I don't
supposed to
know
go
how
out.
far it got.
Oh, okay.
This,
I had heard that, I just, you know,
yeah,
Okay,
but you know, the windows are still boarded and it's still
that's what we're just talking
a
about.
mess.
Oh, that's what they're talking about. They're wanting to know the status of the cleanup letter.
no, that letter's done. That's supposed to go out this
You gotta go back to the old.
and it was gonna be, that was the one that was gonna put in.
Oh,
we were gonna
for
put
the
on that.
September
That,
bill.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be coming up
Vehicles in the yard.
at the end of the month. then.
We had
Is that
10
the cleanup? Wait a minute, which one are we talking about? Line
This is
completely.
community letter remind.
Community letter is supposed to go out with water.
And came to.
half of it.
Yes.
And Trina has that letter, because she would be the one.
Yeah, well,
forwarding
she
it.
redrafted.
There's one outside.
I know that there was some,
It's all gravel. There's no grass.
so right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could just gravel it all in. It's just park there.
Yeah, she redrafted it.
Give it a little nicer feel to it.
Yeah.
It's legal, and that's
Okay,
fine.
Jill, did you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I have one last thing on
It can get
sanitation.
out of hand.
So just to remind everybody that, we have the community cleanup weekend coming
yeah.
up, October the 4th through the 6th. And that's where you can put large items outside your house and they'll pick it up at your roadside. And then we'll have dumpsters as well, where you can put stuff
Are
in.
we allowed to go into our neighbors and drag it out?
I mean, I'm not monitoring that,
Maybe that's where we'll set up one of
Stay
the
away from the ring
dumpsters.
doorbell.
We'll just put it in their
What
yard.
a good idea, Brandy. I hadn't thought of
We'll
that.
just put the dumpster there and
What was the date again?
so, 10/4 through 10/6.
Where's the dumpster gonna be at, Brandy?
I believe there's always one up here, correct? And there's one at Schelleberger Park, isn't that correct? We have
See up
two.
there, and even at Old Town
At
Hall.
the-
which is part-
At the Old Town Hall is one, and then Schelleberger Park is the second location.
You know, there's been times it's been at the fire station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I will have to, I don't know that it
Old Town
says,
Hall.
did it say on there?
that is.
No, we usually don't end up telling him
Just
when,
that.
or where we want them. They'll put them wherever we want them. So I guess it's
Well,
basically.
Trina drafted the note, so I
You
wanted to
need more
see.
She's got them right there.
Yeah, that's
More than
another
two
one.
last time?
We've done 3 in the past, but I don't know that we did 3 last time. We might
We
have just
did,
done 2.
we just did 2 and Brad was going nuts trying to.
So we should go back to 3? We can go 3. Schelleberger, Old Town Hall, and Fire Station, if they let us. If Trina says, okay.
It doesn't say on here, I will, I'll have her put out another notice on the Town of Delville webpage to
So,
Facebook of where,
but you're wanting 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one down at Schellenberger Park, I mean, it was, well, that's the one that's like,
So
Yeah, that's the one that invites the
Old
most
Town
outside
Hall.
of Daleville.
Fire station, if Trina says okay, because she's trustee.
we can ask on Thursday at
And
the fire territory meeting.
then,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Because I can put this on the sign too.
Jones for a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
right, all in favor?
Aye. Very good. Very efficient.
How you doing? Okay,
Yes, with the health insurance.
you drive down here or you need to ride home?
No, or we decided
Carmel
to,
Apple Donuts for everybody.
we decided to.
How you doing? All right. Okay, you?